Hi everyone, and welcome to the Real Estate Joint Venture Club. My name's Odin. I'm going to be your host for this evening, or for this presentation. So let's get right into the disclaimer. So here we go. This publication, or any seminars given in relation thereto, is sold or otherwise provided on the understanding that the author, Odin, the Real Estate Joint Venture Club, and presenters, as the case may be, are not responsible for any result or results or any action or actions taken in reliance upon the information contained in this publication or conveyed by way of said seminars, nor for any errors contained therein or presented thereat or omission in relation thereto. Please go and talk to your professional advisors, your licensed advisors, and when you're ready, let's do a real estate deal. Thanks very much for that was the theme song for Indiana Jones, and again, the Jeopardy theme song right there. Those are two well-established theme songs, and again, thank you for their 30-second snippets. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to get right into the thought that we have been progressing on, which is real estate joint ventures. I've been doing my best to keep these presentations short and sweet so that you would get the most and maximum information. I want to prepare you to do a real estate deal as quickly as humanly possible. So I want to prepare you to do a real estate deal for as quickly as humanly possible. It doesn't matter where you're at in your life. If real estate is something that you're interested in, it can definitely be a niche or a business that can provide long-term results. Again, I say long-term because that's how you have to think. You got to think a little more like the turtle and a lot less like the hare when it comes to real estate. So the idea here is to continue on with looking at real estate joint venture agreements. We've looked at a couple in the first we did an overview of joint ventures in the first presentation. And then what we did is we went through a couple of joint venture agreements, the ones that I have used and wouldn't really recommend to use unless you had legal advice, of course, and I always recommend that. Just to know that it's there. I actually belong to Prepaid Legal, and I also have a couple of other lawyers that I can call, and some main lawyers definitely I do call as well. So the next what we looked at is we looked at a couple more joint venture agreements, and we were looking at the differences of the JVs and what those differences are, what in the paperwork. And then I showed you in the last presentation was the joint venture, how an opportunity or property is presented to you. We call it a propertunity, the brand new word, is presented to you. So the idea is to say that 10 times. So the idea is to move on with the idea of joint ventures, and I'm going to show you a joint venture that I have worked with. I'll do my best to go through it with my understanding. You can take these ideas and you can go to your joint venture partners. So I did a number of joint ventures with this particular agreement. This particular agreement cost me a couple $1,000s, and that's actual real money I had to pay. So the agreements are typically kept close to the chest, and you only reveal them to people that you want to do deals with. So everyone that's watching this, you're receiving this because I want to do a deal with you. When the time comes and a joint venture presents itself, and you've got money, or you've got some kind of, you want to make some kind of investment, or you want to make a mortgage investment, or you want to do something in relation to investing in real estate to understand what you're getting into, you'll have a background, a little bit of information to show you what you can and cannot do, what's important to look for in a joint venture, and what's important. It's in a joint venture, to me, it's important to have some kind of value, some kind of real property. How can I make sure that my money is protected? If I'm putting money in and my partner's putting in money, how can I be protected, and how can my joint venture partner be protected? That's what I'm interested in. So I went through a number of deals using this, and then I had a JV partner who said, hey, I don't want to use this agreement anymore. I'd like to use this agreement instead. And so that's where the new generation of agreements started coming into place. And At that time, I did a number of profit sharings as well, and I was kind of perfecting this process of understanding joint ventures and how it really helps. It really helps everybody out. It really helps everybody out. So in this particular case, let's take a look. So my name of the company was on the top and where I was, and then this is the name of the joint venture partner and wherever they are. And then the name of the company is entered into the contract for purchase and sale is defined. So this is what the joint venture agreement is. The name of the company and investor, whoever the investor is. And we should change that to profit sharing partner. I can the lawyer doesn't really mind what you change it to, but this is someone who's providing maybe money, someone who's providing credit. It's a joint venture partner essentially. So it doesn't matter what you really call it. But here in this particular case, it's called the venturer, and what we've agreed is to combine our money, our property, our efforts, knowledge, and skill to create and embark on a joint venture, herein called the joint venture, for a limited purpose only of purchasing, owning, and reselling the property, and for sharing in the gross revenues and gross expenses of the joint venture, which such further adjustment as may be provided by this agreement. The mortgage qualifier will be the registered owner of the property as herein defined. So far, we're looking at differences in joint venture agreements. And yeah, you can read these and go through them again and again and again. But ultimately, these are just examples. Unless you've actually sat down, gone through them, read them, registered them, and have all these things done, then this is just an education for you. It's really putting the education into practice that's really important. So this agreement, it talks about what's the interpretation. This talks about the actual joint venture. The venture is hereby create and embark on a joint venture. The affair shall be conducted in accordance with the provisions of this agreement. The purpose and scope of the joint venture shall be limited to the purchase, development, rental, and sale of the property for the benefit of the venturers. No other project shall be undertaken in this particular agreement. Nothing herein shall be read or construed to make the joint venture partners, nor shall anything herein be read or construed to in any way restricting the freedom of the venturers to conduct any business or activities whatsoever free of any accountability of the joint venture. So it's just kind of going through it. So the joint venture agrees that they shall share the revenues and operating costs of the joint venture and the assets. And the joint venture covenants and agrees that they provide initial capital investments. Typically you do. You have to pay for your own lawyers and so on. So if you don't have money to pay for your own lawyers right now, a joint venture is something. A joint venture is a different model for you. But if you have money that you can pay for lawyers, then a joint venture is a similar model to this. You can start getting involved in the real estate because you do need to actually pay for a lawyer. It's important. Now you can start talking to lawyers and getting them all lined up. Lawyers like ongoing repeat clients. Everyone does. So the sooner you know how to do this, the better off you're going to be. It's an industry, so the conducting the affairs of the joint venture. So the manager, the management, and the conduct of the affairs of the joint venture should be subject at all times to the name of this was my name because I'm the person who put in the cash. So I came into the joint venture and then put the money down in the joint venture. So name your company. So that's whatever your company name shall conduct the day-to-day management. I would change it. So I would say both parties would actually have to do this moving forward. It's a lot better, and to share a bank account is also a pretty good idea, and then I'll have all the money go into that bank account and have it managed by itself is good. If money had to go into the bank account, then what you would do is you'd be able to track that cash going in. That's just I would say that that's a best practice moving forward. Personally, I put a lot of money down for down payments on these properties. So the idea is to make sure that those monies are being paid back. And with a joint venture partner on the bank account as well, banks like that, everyone is taking full responsibility that this is what everybody likes. So then the name of the company has the discretion to borrow against the property to reinvest in the joint venture. And then here shall get a mortgage qualifier. So this is in order for us to sell the property. And then those are just outlines. So administrative and distribution of the revenues and expenses. It goes through that. It's not a very big, long agreement. It's only 17 pages. It does cover quite a bit of information. The province of Alberta, the name of the lawyer. So the ventures, again, it's talking here. This is just general information. Time is of the essence. It's governed in the province of Alberta, which is good. 10 days of notices. So there's a compulsory purchase or surrender of a joint venture percentage. So that means that you can actually lose your percentage of interest. You don't lose your money per se, but you can lose your percentage interest. And that was an interesting point. When I stopped using this agreement, obviously that point was not put into the new agreements. But maybe it could be in the future. I haven't asked the lawyer about it. There's a termination of the agreement. Here's the general and idea. What you do here is you go and you basically, there's declaration of trust, definitions, waiver of independent legal advice, and certificate of independent legal advice. So that's really important in all the deals that I've got. So here's a trust declaration. Here's a trustee. So where is the property? Legal description. So this is your ability to register the document. Here's an affidavit of execution saying that you understand with a lawyer. Here's the Schedule B, which is the percentages of, so additional financial contributions. So this is what you can negotiate. You negotiate, this is the most important part of the agreement right here, is what do you negotiate on additional financial contributions, depending on who owns what and who's put the money down and who has the money and so on and so forth. This is a negotiable percentage. So the initial financial contribution, again, this is a negotiable percentage as well, depending on if you're staying in the deal or if you're going out of the deal. Again, remember that if you're going to be doing something like this, it has to also be disclosed through your contract for purchase and sale. But at the same time, this is what's interesting. These joint ventures are simple. You can find someone with a joint venture agreement, and you can buy a percentage of that joint venture for X amount of dollars, depending on if it makes sense. And what would happen is you would simply assign the agreement to that person, and you can do that for cash. That's an actual cash business. You can go and, based on a joint venture, you can go to a trust company, and I'll be doing presentations on this, and you can do self-directed TFSAs and RSPs. And as long as they agree and everyone agrees that with all the registration, some of these agreements allow you to register a mortgage, and this particular one does not allow you to register a mortgage. It allows you to register a trust agreement in Alberta, which is important. But some of them allow you to register a mortgage. So if you're able to register a mortgage, then what that does is it secures a potential for you to do a third-party mortgage onto a joint venture. And it's a little bit different because the mortgage can be balloon payment mortgages. You have to put an interest rate on the mortgage, which is fine. I've done that. And you can also say it's pursuant to, let's say, this joint venture agreement on this particular date. So there's so many things that you can do with joint venture agreements. Because joint venture agreements, for instance, with the initial financial contribution, let's say it's $50,000 here, and I want to sell, and I own, I don't know, let's say 50% of the rental participation and 50% of the interest in the property. And I have $50,000. I say, okay, well, I want to give away $25,000 of my interest, and what I'll do is I'll make it so that when the money comes in from the joint venture, you get paid first, I get paid last, and then you can give $25,000 as a mortgage through your RSP or TFSA. It's all registerable. It's all registerable, and I'll be showing you how to do that. You go and talk to your own trust company. I have what we can do is a couple things. We can do peer-to-peer mortgages, and that's another topic I want to bring up for another presentation. We can do third-party mortgages through your RSPs and TFSAs, and that's right, guys. You have RSPs and TFSAs that you could be using to get better returns than what you may be getting at other places. It's up to you to do the research, though, as I said in the disclaimer. I'll be showing you a bunch of information, though, that I have received from the trust company, and you can use this information for yourself. So there's so much that you can do in your investment, in your personal real estate purchase group or your real estate joint venture club, whatever your club is called. there's so many opportunities here. You can put a few dollars in, you can find out what the agreements are, you can secure your cash, and that's exactly what you're doing. You're securing your cash. But what you're also doing is you're able to assign that. So it becomes a very nice market to put a little bit of your cash to diversify. So there's about 15 minutes, and we have the waiver of independent legal advice. There's a name of a lawyer that I have actually used. And then what we have right over here is we have the affidavit of execution and a certificate of independent legal advice again. And there you go. That is this particular joint venture agreement. There are more on the way, and all of this is preparing you to see a deal and then to allow you to know that there's already a joint venture on that deal, and it's how you're going to get involved in that joint venture and make it in a way that you're becoming part of a real estate process or real estate deal. Do you want to come on and be an apprentice to the financial manager, which is a great idea, by the way, for your real estate business at whatever level you get in. There's no better way of learning about real estate than actually doing real estate. And having your money make money for you while you're learning, I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me. That's the way I learn best. I never really truly understood giving thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars away for me to get a piece of paper to say that I can now go earn money. I do understand giving money to organizations that allow me to earn money while I gave them money, which made a lot more sense to me. So pay as you go sort of thing. So in this particular case, if you're looking for, and I know you are, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this, you're looking for real estate education, the best of real estate education is to get involved, to do a deal, to learn, to get to set that benchmark for yourself and to move the process forward. Now, let's go on here to a little bit of a commercial. So the Real Estate Joint Venture Club, well, we talk about a whole bunch of things, buying and selling property, your property. We have special presentations that are coming up. So if you want to be a presenter or a sponsor, or you have something cool you want to share, or a case study, you want to just get your property out there, then look at how we're doing things and do your best to copy that and put a presentation together that you can show me 10 or 15 minutes that I want to take a look at, something interesting. We do how to buy real estate and to build a business. It really, everything we talk about is all transferable to other businesses as well. We talk about rent-to-own, seller financing, sandwich leases, down payment provided. We talk about a whole bunch of different ways to do real estate in Canada. And all of this is completely 100% legal. Lawyers are involved. You got to get your financing binder prepared. What I do is I treat this like there's rules of a game, and there are rules of a game. When it comes to real estate and it comes to financing, you got to have your financing binder ready. So we talk about your net worth statement, balance sheets, property detail spreadsheet, and so on. It's all in the JV Club. I'll be showing you that again in the future as through another presentation. We have a ton of training webinars. It just goes on and on and on. If you're wanting education, this is the place for education. You're going to be able to walk away. There's so much shared there. I want you to recognize that when you're out there doing deals and there's an opportunity to do a deal with me, just say, all right, what is this deal and how can I help? Because that's what I want. I want it to be a market out there that when someone has a deal, that the deal flies off the shelves for them, that there is a market out there for you and your real estate business. You got to train your joint venture club members, though, and it's important. So take everything I'm doing here, sit down with 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 of your friends, have them go through this step by step with you, have them watch it, have it be like a book club, but it's not a book club, it's like a video club for real estate. That's pretty good. I'm redoing the presentations all the time. We have 2 weeks to your next investment property, Real Estate Scout Bird Dog training program. That's specifically for how to work with real estate agents, how to find great deals, how to find JV partners, financing binder presentations. Everything is online on the JV Club. We have mastermind groups, and you can definitely ask about being involved in those. We have deals that are done for you. A lot of people have those. I've got a couple people right now that are wanting to sponsor a presentation and come on and show their deals. All of this is free, but we do have a $9.99 option. I recommend if you get the $9.99 option, you get both. So it does help out. Free or for a $9.99, we do appreciate it. Thanks so much. Take care.